All right, good morning, traders. I have not recorded the trades from Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and I'm going to do so, and I thought I'd record it. So, I was not going to record Wednesday trades because it was CPI. Look at this sea of red point candles, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make a special situation. So, when I'm recording these trades, let me refresh this because I just added that special condition. And the special condition here is going to be, was it on a trifecta day? And it's going to be 8-point candle, no trade zone. So there'll be some special notations there for that. So let's get started here. So I'm going to mark this here, and I might not worry too much about if it's a solid or dashed line. Kind of know what we're looking at. So we have a break level trade here. I'm going to slide this over just so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so this was a Wednesday, and I want my no trade zones up. So, first thing I like to record though are the overnight highs, overnight lows, IB lows, IB highs. Do we have any of these trades? So let's do the IB. So at the IB high, we just came up here and just immediately took it out. That's not a trade. I like it if there's an IB high. So the shaded area is the IB range. And so I would have liked, let's say it made this, or let's look at this. It made an IB low. And when it came back to it, what did we do? What did we do? So we're going to record the IB low. This was, when was the IB low finally hit? It was New York lunch. Is that something we'd want to denote? Absolutely. IB low. Because what if we discover the IB low, as long as it's challenged in the AM session, it works beautifully. But in the lunch session, well, you better be careful. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Are we in the land of 8-point candles? Yes. Are we on a trifecta day? Yes. So let's come and look at this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to come to my replayer tool. I'm going to put it here. Let's go look at this on a 1-minute chart. First of all, when you have this 8-point candle coming in here, your first thing is do not trade. I got to wait until it bounces off two newly created levels. Then this candle opened here. I'm curious, was it 8? I don't know what I just did. Was this candle price range already 8 points when it got to you? Yep. So it went red again on you. Should you take that trade? Absolutely not. So let's go to a 1-minute chart. I want to see what it actually did when it finally hit that level. And let's see if it'll give me a 30-second chart. I bet it doesn't. Oh, wow, it did. Well, thank you, 8-point chart. I'm at 30-second chart. So let's just bunch this in, make sure I've got that marked right. I did. This is why I like to have these 30-second charts, because if it goes 2 points, I cannot count it as a loser. And if something goes 2 points, you should not take a loss. There you go. It went 2.25. So basically, it was a touch and go. You didn't make much, though. Price action, I'm going to call that a touch and go. How far did that? See, I really need a 15-second chart. When a point against you, I cannot count that as a touch and go. Because it might have done this. And you never know. Inside of this candle, let's hit 15 seconds. Let's just see if we get it. Oh, my goodness. Are we getting it? I didn't think I could go that far back. So this is good to know, actually. Okay, so this tells us what happened in here. No. Come on, keep going. Keep going. All right. So what actually happened is it came to your level. It went down 1.5 points. It came up 2 points. Don't let that go against you again. So not a touch and go. I'm going to say it's a chop day. Let's go back and look at it again on a 3-minute. Let's reset this chart. Yeah, I think I got to call that chop. Chop. I'm going to say you made a profit. You better have been quick. And I'm going to put in my notes here for later, 30-second, actually 15-second chart. 15-second chart reveals, I'm just going to put profitable trade. And if I want, what I'll do is I come in here to the 15-second chart again, zoom this in, and this is going to be my screenshot, is the 15-second chart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this properly to a white solid, because that's what it would be on me. So, not there. Is that where it was? All right. Let's zoom in. Sorry, guys. It's just... Yep, there we go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle where that trade was. I'm going to use my screenshot tool here so that later I can look at that entry on a 15-second chart, because I'll never be able to get it back. You know, let's say I was wanting to go look at all of my 8-point candle IB highs and lows, or trifecta days. I'll never get that 15-second back. I think that's properly marked. Let's go to 3-minute chart. All right. And let's reset the chart. Okay. So that's our IB low. There was no overnight low nor overnight high trade. So now let's go back to our break level trade. All right, so Wednesday. I want to make sure I chose Wednesday on that last trade. I'm looking at my actual data. Okay, so Wednesday. This was also during New York lunch. This was an IB low. It certainly had a little touch and go there. You certainly would not have lost money. You would have made money. And what's the high of this candle here? Did it go 5 points? I don't know if this would have, I'm going to have to say no, because I'm pretty sure this would have came back and got you. Let's drop to a 1 minute there. So it would have got you in and it went back up. It depends on how you managed it. So, all right, so we got IB low. Let's go back to a 3-minute chart. And let's reset. Certainly 8-point candle land. Why? You had 8-point candle. This would have been your first bounce, actually, to tell you you could resume trading. We're on the trifecta. I'm going to say wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's chop. It's profit. It's not much. It's a little something, something. So I'm just going to put a little arrow here. I'm going to screenshot this, put it into my Airtable, go submit. Okay. So as far as overnight highs, overnight lows, IB low, IB high, this pretty much covered it. And then we had, what am I doing? That was not an IB low entry. You're probably watching this going, no, that's a break level, George. It was a weak break level. Why is it a weak break level? Because you didn't have backside development. So I'm calling these weak break levels. Okay. So you had this break level that was weak. You had this front side, which was never became anything. Then boy, this was just an ugly day. I can't call this a break here. because it's actually a test of this break back here. So, which was actually tested right there. So that's a trade actually. So 2 blue candles down, 2 candle clearance. It came back to near perfection. That's beautiful. Okay, so Wednesday AM, you had a weak break, and I'm going to call this with the trend because it's laddering. But you're in 8-point candle land. You're on trifecta. That is a touch and go if I've ever seen one. I'm going to call that with the trend. That would have been your best trade. Certainly 5 points. Man, that was a good one. So we're going to do this. We're going to capture little coffee pot. Sorry, my wife. Good morning. I love you. I figured we weren't up as early. Huh, that didn't transfer over. Let's screenshot this. So I made the smaller pot. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Very nice. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It comes down. This is nothing. It's a test of this. Now, this is a 3-minute break level here. I'd do it off the lower body. On a 1 minute, I'm pretty sure that's a break level, but, yeah. See, on a 1 minute, this is actually a break level here. So when I'm looking at this on a 3-minute and I'm going to trade it, I'm already like, do I really want to trade that? And if I do, I want to do it lowest leverage. And in this particular case, it worked out. But I see this back here, and I go, that's already something tested. So I would have been in that trade right there. So let me measure one thing, because I entered 2 ticks before the body. So let me make sure I'm being on the money here. Let's turn on this. I go by the bottom. Oh my goodness. I go by the bottom of this, and I enter 2 ticks before. Certainly that's 2 ticks before. Now I got to turn off the magnet tool. Yep, you're in it. Very nice. Okay, so we got a Wednesday. This is a week break level. New York lunch. It's a week break. I'm going to say the 8-point candle is not existent here because it bounced off that level here. I'm going to say that it's probably not in the 8-point candle land. I think you've had 2 bounces. This front side here. Yeah, I'm going to not give it the 8-point candle. Boy, was that a touch and go. That's what I trade for. We are in chop. You are in profit. You did make 5 points. So let's draw here. Let's make this box. Let's capture it. Let's submit it. Okay. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. This would be a front side. Price went away. Slammed back into you. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's a doji front side. I almost want to make a special situation for dojis. I think I'm going to do that. Let's make a... It's typically a level I don't like trading. And if I do, I prefer the base. And now you know why. Look at that. So we're going to mark. So this is, okay, let's just go through it. Wednesday. It's in the PM. It's also long at the bottom of the range, which is nice, right? You got a weak front side because you never had backside development. So we got a weak front side. We are certainly an 8-point candle land. It is a fair value gap. It is trifecta day, which is a better entry. This is where I'll denote that. If I feel there was a better entry, I'll denote it. Otherwise, I don't. BL backup. That's a break level backup. I'm trying to think for a second. I don't know if I've been using that. I might have to remove that. Let me see something real quick, guys. Let me check my BL backup. Oh, I've done that several times. Was a backup a break level? Well, let's look at this for a second. Yes, this would have been a clear break level. So yeah, I need to pay a little more attention to that, especially on front sides. Okay, front sides and back sides. Okay, let's keep going. This was a touch and go. This was in chop. This was profitable. Whether you did if you did the body, you probably got wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you did the body, which was the better entry, it was touch and go. 5 points, I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to draw both of those for the notes. Let's go here. Let's screen capture this. That's fine with me. Let's drop these in here. And I think that makes sense. Submit. Now you got this front side up here. Wick or body. Well, in this case, the body would have been the better entry. You took less heat. So we got Wednesday, PM session, a weak front side. You are certainly in 8-point candle land. You are certainly on the trifecta. It's in a fair value gap. The base would have been better. I'm going to say no to, I'm going to say you did not have a break level backup. I'm going to add something to the special situations. Did it? Yeah, did it have a backup level? That's really what that's really what that means. Backup level, question mark. That's exactly. So next time this page loads is going to be better denoted. It did not have a backup level. That's the purpose of that. If it did not have a backup level, I'm wanting to note that. It seems pretty touch and go. I like those big wicks like that. Certainly chop. Profit. 5 points. Yeah. So let's screenshot this. I don't think I need to denote where that is. And save. I'll be right back. Okay. So we got that front side. We did this front side. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So here's a weak front side with no backup level. That's a weak front side and a no backup level. Let's go to 1 point. What does that look like on 1 point? Look at the gift of break even. Boy, there is a perfect thing for the gift to break even. So Wednesday. Okay, this shaded area at the end of the day, this is the first 30 minutes, and this is the final 30 minutes. Okay, I'm tracking those separately. So we're in the power hour, first 30 minutes. Weak front side. Let me go ahead and screenshot this before I want to make a note. 1 minute. Okay, let's go back to 3 minute here. Certainly we're in the sea of 8-point candles. That's what I was just confirming. 8-point candles, fair value gap, trifecta. Ooh, let's look at the difference between the wick and the body. So I might record a different screenshot here. Whoa, isn't that interesting? So all around the better. Because if you went off the wick, let's go to a 30-second chart. Because this helps reveal other things. So let's go to a 15-second chart. Here we are. So look at this on a 15-second chart. Once again, you were given the gift of break even. This thing went up against you, came back down. As soon as price goes against me, I'm doing one of two things. I'm like, okay, that's my stop, one tick above that. Or I start following price back at 50%, hoping that it keeps going. Or you just take the gift of break even. I can't tell you how many times the gift of break even is the gift. So whether you did the wick or the base, in fact, I'm going to denote these here so I can put these in my notes. This is a great one. Wick, base. I'm going to make a note here just for myself later, because if I decide to share these screenshots, gift break even on both levels. How good is that? Gift of break even on both levels. All right, I need to I don't want that screenshot. I want this screenshot. Wednesday, April 10th. Just in case I ever want to go back to that. Although this date is already being recorded, because the day I enter this record, it will be put into the database. Okay. Boy, how valuable is the 30-second chart? And look at that, the gift of break even. All right, let's go back to a 3-minute chart. Let's reset. All right, so that was the front side there. You had a front side here that was never done. You had this front side here. But once again, you have no backup level, because this is nothing more than a test of this 3-minute, which in my opinion is nothing but a test of this 1 minute. But you did have a front side here, and you got the gift of break even. Again, it certainly was not profitable. I don't need to zoom into it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Trend is chop. And it was, these were the gift of break evens. All right, let's submit another response. Wednesday, final 30, weak front side, 8-point candle, land. It isn't a fair value gap. It is on a trifecta day. There's no difference here. I'm only trying to denote when there's a difference. Otherwise, there's only one entry, so there was no better. Did you have a backup level? No. I can't put took heat, needed backup level, because there is no backup level. So certainly wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It looks to me. There's that. Another gift of break even. I'm going to remove this word wick. It's a front side 2-candle clearance. Came back. Yep. Gift of break even. And let's screenshot. I'm fine with that. Let's drop it here. Final 30 minutes. And submit. Okay. So we did Wednesday. A lot of 8-point candles. Of course, the trifecta day there. And so we will go with it. So now let's go back to Thursday, which is here. All right. So the first trade I look at is the IB high. I'm at the overnight low, overnight high. Did I really get that trade? Oh, I remember this day. This was the reversal box. This is great. This is why you want to do these recently, because boy, you can really relive the day. Because I took a long here, and then I took a short here, and I got wicked out there. Several of y'all made really nice there, and then spent the day laddering up, and I said, do not counter this. Do not counter this. If you want to see the AM briefing and the wrap-up of this day, you can always go to my website, microstrader.com, and go to the daily videos. And I have an archive of them there. All right, I don't keep them on my YouTube channel. It clogs up the YouTube channel, so I unlist them, and they're on my website. So, certainly I've got this here. Now, we know that above here was the previous day's high. But, yeah, whatever. Okay. So this was the IB high. Overnight high. Let's come to the end of the day. Let's put our replay there. Let's go to a 30-second on this level. Scroll over. Look at that. Straight against you, came back and gave you the gift of break even. Or at least, as I told you, when price goes against me, it comes back, I'll put my stop one tick above that, and then you have a choice. Do I take the gift to break even, or do I follow it at 50% just in case it keeps going? Notice every time we've looked at it so far, how many times did it just keep going? So far, none. This is why the gift to break even is the most powerful. So, we're on Thursday. I want to screenshot this 30-second chart. I'm going to denote this. Of course, I'll see it, but I'm just denoting it while I'm thinking of it. 30-second gift to break even. All right, let's go back to a 3-minute because I'm pretty sure we are 8-point candles. We are 8-point candles, and we're New York lunch. All right, so let's go back up. New York lunch, overnight high. 8-point candles. I'm curious, did that turn 8 points before it hit your level? And of course it's counter, it did. I'm going to screenshot this again, because I want to denote 8-point candles. So 8-point candle before it hit the level. I almost wish I had a special situation trade you should not take. You know that, okay, it just went red on me. Do I really want to take that as I'm laddering up? No, you don't. But how do we denote this? So, took heat, needed backup level. I can't use that either. This is counter. And then I got counter parabolic. I don't think we've went counter parabolic yet. I don't know if you can make that determination right there that we went counter parabolic. It certainly seems that it went parabolic on you, didn't it? How big of a candle was this? Now, at that moment, you don't know that. You only know it's an 8-point candle. But you got a 12-point candle, and in that 12-point candle gave you the gift of break even. I think I'm just going to have to call it counter. You got the gift of break even, or it hurt you bad, or it took your full stop. It didn't hurt you bad. It took your full stop. It was depending on how you want to manage that. And this is one reason I say every time there's a break even, that maybe could have been a loss. That also maybe could have been a profitable. Sometimes I'll take a break even and it does keep going. But I believe the gift of break even should be what you take, my humble opinion. All right, let's submit this. Okay, so that's it for those levels. So I wanted to see something here. Yeah, the yesterday's high was right above it. I thought it was. So let's go back to a 3-minute here. All right, so now it's went parabolic, right? Is there any entries here? Let's go back to the beginning. This would have been a backside. Then I want to look at the difference between the wick. Ugh. That's really not the prettiest. All right, let's look at this again. Did this leave anything? No. Nothing, nothing, nothing. How ugly. And right here was your touch and go. Let's look at this. Yeah, that went 5 points at 2, actually. So let me throw that on here. What I'm looking at is this touch to this blue candle. Did it go 5 points? Yeah, it did. That's what we're measuring. Did it have the potential? You wouldn't have made 5 points. I'm not saying you made 5 points when you see 5-point potential. So, Thursday, New York lunch. This is a backside. This is a backside. It is not the prettiest, though. I can't even mark whether it was better to do the base or the wick. In this case, obviously the wick. But boy, that's tough. I'm not going to say the 8-point candle land. This is totally counter. Why? 1 ladder, 2 ladders. I don't know, 2 or 3 ladders up. So total counter. Certainly not counter parabolic. This one, that overnight high might be counter parabolic. In fact, one of the things I can do, I'm going to, on that last trade, I'm going to say it was not only counter, I'm going to add counter parabolic. I'm going to add that. All right, so let's look at, so this trade was profitable. It wouldn't have been much, but it was profitable. Did it have 5-point potential? Yes, it had 5-point potential. I'm going to mark it here. Let's get the screenshot in here. Okay. Make sure I'm still on a 3-minute chart. Oh, no, 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 no. The best long would have been right here for the reversal box situation. Now, there's a special situation called reversal box, but I can't mark that. The reason why, because usually the reversal box here, 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 and let's say you had a level right in the middle of the vomit. That would have been a reversal box situation. We didn't have that, so. And then straight up, man, that's where you want to be long, and then it couldn't take out this break level the entire time it's up here. I vividly remember, because I was wanting a breakdown trade. So it did that. You got to say that's a break level counter parabolic. So let's mark it Thursday, PM. This is as weak of a break level as you can get, because you don't even have a front side, do you? You don't even have a front side. But it certainly moved a good distance away. You certainly had 2 candle clearance. How far away is that to that? It's more than a point. Okay. It's just weak. None of those special situations account. You certainly got wiggle. I'm going to say counter parabolic. I'm going to say that's a break-even trade. If you even took it. Not even a front side. All right, let's, and I'm talking about, actually, let me remove this for a second. Let's screenshot that again so I know exactly what I'm looking at. Let's drop this in here. Okay, let's let it load. Let's bring you down here. Another break level, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So Thursday. But this did have a front side. Cancel. Nope, because I would consider that tested right there. Well, that's in a fair value gap. Because when it comes back and does that, I kind of consider that tested. I don't think I want to mark that one. Thursday. That happened in the PM. It is a weak break level. It is not an 8-point candle land. And actually that last one I would call it 8-point candle because you didn't have 2 bounces yet. So I'm adding that special situation on the last trade. I'm going to still say that's an 8-point candle because this would be the second bounce. You got wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm still going to say it's counter. No. That's not counter. This would be with the trend. With the trend. Let's drop down in time frames here for a second. Let's look at this closer. Let's go to 30 seconds. So here, it's showing it went against you and then popped up. You know, I need to be extra careful here off this ladder point. Did it go more than 2 points? It did not. So it went against you, came back up. This is where if you put it at 1 tick and say, this will be my worst case, you made out. If you followed at 50%, you probably got out at break even. If you took the gift of break even, it was probably break even. So I'm still going to call it break even. No 5 points. Let's go back to a 3-minute chart. It's the same thing. Didn't reveal much more. We see the doing nothing. Now, this is with the trend, and I got to add in how many ladder ups is that? Well, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or plus. So it becomes exhaustion type of move, right? I don't long 6 ladder ups. I just don't. I'm waiting for a breakdown. And you didn't get one. Okay. I think that's it. All right, let's go to Friday now. Those are all Thursday trades. Let me make sure I marked Thursday on all of those for accuracy. Yes. Okay, so let's go to Friday now. So Friday, we're looking for IB lows and highs. And not IB overnight highs and lows. Man, I say that often, too many times. I say it wrong too many times. So, as we're looking at this, one has to think, how close did that already bounce? Is that 3 ticks? See, that's at the point. That's a tough one, man. And the reason why I say that, because it did a touch and bounce. And really, it's off the break level, right? If you're looking at it as a break level, it bounced off the break. If the body's tested, the wick is tested, I'm not going to count this as an overnight low trade. To me, it's a no trade, so it's nothing. Do we have anything here? Nope, because it was laddering down all day. We're looking for level development. There's a backside. So, Friday, it's New York lunch. It is a backside. It is 8-point candle land. It is in a fair value gap. Better entry. Where's the base? I don't even know. See, it's not the prettiest. The base is up here. The wick is here. Let's go to a 1-minute chart. Is there a better entry? I don't know. Probably the wick. Let's bring it here. So, I'm going to go wick, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm going to say it's a break-even trade for me. Let's go to 30-second chart. Let's nail in even more what happened here. Okay, there's your backside. And it came up to here. Okay, so how much did that bounce? So it came here, it went against you 2 ticks, and then it went down a 1.5, came back. Yeah, to me it's a break even. I can't count it a loser. I can't count it anything. 30-second chart backside. Let's see if I can. Let's do this. Let me screenshot it. Let's bring the level in there too. Yeah, I think it's break even at best. It's not a loser, but it's a break even. Looks like one of the fields are missing. I'm going to count this as with the trend. Let's go take a look at it again. Yeah, that's with the trend. Okay, submit. Usually those are better trades. This is not the prettiest peak here. But if I was to trade this, I'd go, okay, I got a little bit of some sort of backup here. Maybe you want to trade the backup. And you're like, yeah, this is a break level up here. So you had backup levels. In fact, I need to go add that. Did I have a backup level? Yes. Yes. Okay. All right, let's continue. By it being a backside, I automatically know I have backup levels, by the way. Does this meet the definition of a break level? It sure does. 2 candles away and came back. Now, I was actually long in this sequence. There's no way I took this trade here. I would have taken this trade. And the reason why I was long is because we pushed down. There was something, I don't remember, but we were looking for evidence of laddering up. It was ugly, but made money. And then it was actually this pullback that got me out. Went back up. Probably was not recognizing in real time that was a break level because it seemed like we were laddering back up. So this is going to be a break. Nope, let me submit. All right. So this is going to be a break level Friday. New York lunch. This is the weakest of all break levels areas because there's not even a front side. Not only did you not get a backside, it's the weakest of all weakest. So it's a weak break level. Let's go look at it on a 1 minute. Pretty wiggle wiggle to me. It's wiggle wiggle. what do I call that? I'm going to call it counter. Because we were laddering here. Let's go back to a 3 minute. I want to make sure I'm looking at this as properly as I can. 1, 2, it's got to be counter. For me, that would have been break even. For somebody else, that would have been a winner. Let's go back and look at it again. I'm just curious, how much did it go against you? Because that plays a little bit of a role. All right, well, it went 1.75. Then it came back and gave you the gift of break even. And then it slammed down. I'm going to use break even. We'll make the note 1 minute chart. Well, let's just denote that so I can, if I go back and study that later, submit. All right, 3 minute chart. All right, then it goes down, you get this backside, you get nothing. This is the one Justin made really good on, 40 points, past 2 eval accounts. So you come down here. Got to draw that as a backside with a big old wick. Man, those are tough. Let's go look at it. Let's bring it in. Oh yeah, I went long at 60 there, but too much wiggle, 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 then it ran 10 points on me. All right. The difference between the body and the wick in this case. Now, it's so interesting when you look at it on a 1 minute. Why is it interesting? Is it tested here on a 1 minute? It is. You know, one of the thoughts I always had, and I haven't done enough research on it, should I only trade the wick if it's untested on the 1 minute? That I want it untested on the 3 minute and untested on the 1 minute. I haven't done enough research on it, but I'm just sharing this for, if you happen to make it this far in the video, maybe you got a golden nugget there for you to watch and pay attention to. So, on a body, you got the gift of break even, which makes sense. This is really already tested. Okay, Friday. I need to go back to 3 minutes so I can count the ladders. Well, actually, I'm not counting the ladders on that. Actually, I am counting the ladders on that. Okay, so we got that in the PM session. It is a backside with a big wick. You had 8-point candles down, so you're really in the 8-point candle no trade zone. It hasn't bounced off 2 levels. And on a 3 minute, actually that goes to here. Let's go look at that on a 1 minute chart again. So in a 1 minute, that's even better. You certainly were given, it went against you, it came back in, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm out. I just don't play with that. I want to touch and go. That's what I want. Your mileage may vary. All right. So in this case, the base was a better entry. Now So I'm going to count this with the trend. How many ladders? That's a tough one, man. Because the move has some exhaustion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, I'm going to say 6 or more. That's a tough one. I'm going to say it's a loss. If you go off the wick, if you go off the base, it's break even. If you, let's talk about all the stuff here. So you had a break level. Did it go more than 2 points? It went right to 2 points past the wick. Right to the 2 points. It probably kept you in it. Then it pulled back in to the backside, giving you the gift of break even. I'm going to call it the gift of break even. It did not take out your break level, and it came back and gave you the gift of break even. And that's how I have to count it. Did it take out my stop? No. Was I given the gift of break even before it took out my ideal stop? No. Should I have even been in the trade? No. Why? You had the 8-point candle. And then you got 8 points right against you. That's what you get for trading on Friday the week of, I want to call this whole day, this whole 3 days, I want to call it the trifecta day, but I can't. You just have to know it's a high risk scenario to trade this day. As I've told you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, level 10. All right, let's screenshot here. Let's just kind of get as much of that as we can in there. Capture, let's drop it in there. So the base, you got break even. The wick, you actually got the gift of break even without taking out your stop. Whew, man, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. And for the people, if you're watching this and you took my Back to Basics workshop, you saw a trade there I haven't really talked to people about yet. So if you're in my Back to Basics workshop, there's a trade there that I haven't revealed to people yet that you might notice, but it's okay. I'm not ready for that yet. Okay, so now you got this front side here. Nothing. So you do have this front side here. All right, let's submit this. Let's turn on the magnet tool so this can be more to perfection. I don't think you'd have been in that trade and it's tested, so I probably will not record this, because if I wouldn't have been in the trade, I can't count it. That's my 3 ticks tested. It bounced. I would not have been in that trade because I'm not going to front run along in this situation by a point. No, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. There's nothing else that day. All right, there's one more thing I want to say about this backside, because we talked about that, hey, it didn't take out your ideal stop loss, came back and give you the gift of break even. And as I was finishing the recording, I went, wait a minute, there was 8-point candles there. So the ideal stop was 13 points away. Do you want to take this backside at 13 points away? Do you want to do that? No, you don't. Even if you came up here to the front side, you're now looking at an 8-point stop loss. Would you want to take that? No, the ideal stop loss is too far away, and you had no backup level because your break level would have been here, right? Which actually tells me I didn't actually record that trade. So, hey, let's pop that real quick. Jeez, it's sometimes difficult. It's hard to see them all. You really need to do it candle by candle, but it just takes me a little too long to do that. All right, so we got a break level. We got it in the PM session. It's a weak break level for sure. You had 8-point candle down here. I'm going to call that still in the 8-point candle land there. This is, in this particular case, the wick actually would have been a better entry. I'm going to call this with the trend. And I'm going to call this somewhere probably the 5th ladder down. It's a tough one. But if you're looking to get short, I mean, that's where you do it. I'm sure that was a profit. Let's go to 1 minute. Let's look at it closer. Let's make sure. Well, it depends on how you handle your management here. Because for me, when it gets me gift to break even, it went in the nah, for me it's break even. For me, it's break even. I'm gonna make a note here. This is a 1 minute chart. Let's go here. Capture. Depends on how you want to manage it. Some people are like, hey, I'm gonna take my take profit or my full stop. In that case, you did really, really well. I've just learned too many times if price immediately goes against me, take the gift to break even. There's also one more trade here that I noticed I missed because I was so focused on the backside. There's a front side. If there's a backside, there's what? There's a front side. So let's go down to a 1 minute chart. How did this front side perform? This front side touched and bounced. Once again, that was 8 points of a stop. How interested am I in that? With no backup level. So Friday, PM. It was a front side and a fair value gap. So you kind of had two things on your side. So weak side, fair value gap. Let's go back to 3 minutes here. Were we an 8 point candle land? Well, you had that 8 point candle down. You now want it to bounce off 2 levels. So yeah, you're an 8 point candle land. Let's go back to 1 point because you didn't bounce off twice yet. Backup level, you did not. Break level was already tested. It was a bit of a wiggle. I'm going to say that was still with the trend, but it's in that 6 or more ladders at this point. I'm going to say this was, let me see how much that bounced. Sometimes the candles are deceiving. It only went like a tick against you. Then it went 2 points, so you made profit. You didn't make 5 points though, but you made profit. Let's capture this. Let's drop this in here. So interesting. Sorry I missed those 2 trades. I don't think it grabbed my capture. There we go. Now it's uploading. All right, cool. I just wanted to mention that about that backside. I'm like, wait a minute. It is with the trend. You had trend on your side. If you wanted to take that trade with that big of a stop, smallest leverage possible, right? Does your leverage metrics have a 13 point ideal stop loss leverage? Mine doesn't. Mine only goes up to 10 points. So if I took that, I would probably take that if I was to take that and I wanted to enter at the wick, this base would have been my stop. And how much heat would that have been? Let's just look at that. So 4 points or so. It's a tough one. And you're an 8 point candle land. It's a tough one. Unless you fully go by your leverage metrics, and I'm pretty sure you do not have a 13 point stop loss. Okay,